Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are reviewing a new wedge shaft in the market from Breakthrough Golf Technology, BGT. We recently done, actually recently as in 10 minutes ago, done the new Brava driver shaft. So you can see they're starting to really fill out their product portfolio, Mikey. They're starting to add products into as many different parts of the golf bag as they can. I think iron shafts would be fair to say are going to come next.
Yeah, I got to assume you have to see it. I mean, the putter shaft was so popular, still really popular for us. This driver shaft.
Something there.
Yeah, something there. So, I mean, if you can make people a better wedge player, more consistent with the shaft, I'm game.
Yeah. So I think what it is with BGT is right now their focus is on the specialty clubs, right? So they started off with putters, they then brought out the driver shaft, then obviously into wedges now, and that's the one we're going to focus on today. I think maybe that's why they'll maybe take a little bit more time to build a match set and how they go about that, because obviously it is a family of products, not just a single product going into a specific club. So we're going to test it against the gold standard, the Dynamic Gold S200 that comes in a Vokey SM9.
Yep.
Just under 130 grams, 1.9 degrees of torque. That is the story when it comes to the zone shaft, the ZNE shaft. You have the 115 gram version you're going to test. I'm going to do the 130. What are you playing right now in your wedges?
I've got DG Spinner Pluses.
Spinner Plus.
Wedge Plus, yeah.
Okay, so
128-ish.
128-ish. Okay, so yeah, yours are going to be in the little bit lighter side with higher torque. So now you're going to be a little bit lower torque. And that's the story when it comes to the BGT shafts. It is the torque conversation that really they're trying to push. When it comes to the frequency, I mean, for those of you who are not familiar, when we talk about frequency in club fitting, we're talking about a clamped section of the golf shaft that we then load and release. The amount of sort of, you know, flex or the amount of bounce on that shaft, we're going to call it cycles per minute. Every time it passes the laser, we're going to call that a cycle. So we're looking at 430 CPM on the 90 gram shaft, Mikey. 500 CPM on the 115 that you're trying, and 530 on the 130 that I'm going to try.
Crazy.
We've not seen CPMs that stiff in anything really.
No, I mean, you could take an X7. We even had one of those Bryson graphite wedge shafts, the Texas rebar back in the day. Nowhere close to that.
Not even close. So the question will be, how do you retain feel? Because the wedges are all about feel when you're playing shafts that are so stiff. That'll be the interesting part to see.
Yep.
So it looks very much in the similar mold to the shaft, the putter shaft that first came out, Stability putter shaft. You've kind of got the non-tapered graphite tube going down into the tapered steel tip section. The 90 gram that's around here, actually right here, that's the 115. The 90's around somewhere. It has a graphite tip section. It's just trying to obviously save that weight. But that one we've not tested yet, and I'll be interested to see if that one feels a little bit different. Let's get some baseliners with the S200, Mikey. I have actually had the luxury of having tested this down with Jake at Club Champion a couple of weeks ago. You've not yet tested this, so I'll be curious to hear your thoughts. 50 yards. We're at Pebble Beach number 4, short par 4. Little fly over here. We've hit a lovely drive. We've got 50 yards left in. And let's see what you've got here.
Okay.
Okay, perfect for distance, just a wee bit tuggy. Just a little 50 yard or so. I mean, even if you're flying this 45, 44, that's plenty. Not bad at all. Better. Better. Okay, one more.
Tuggy.
Okay, so 115 grams, so we're a little bit lighter with this, significantly stiffer like we talked about, that butt CPM at 500 CPM, much stiffer. It is a little bit larger in the handle. It's 610 in the handle, so it's going to feel like almost equivalent of having a little bit extra tape under there. This is something KBS tried, if you think back a few years ago. So they brought out their 610 wedge shaft. It's something that, again, allows them to stiffen up the profile of the shaft a little bit, just trying to go for that dispersion. Obviously, BGT have done that, but having mixed the materials of having some graphite in the top half and then steel in the bottom half, they're able to manipulate flex so much more than you ever could when it comes to a steel product. So I think that's the thing that people will be curious about. How does the steel handle and the graphite handle and the steel tip section, how does that mesh together?
Right, okay.
How's the look of it for you, for starters?
Looks fine. Doesn't...
Not off-putting at all, is it?
No, it's not bulky or anything like that.
No, it transitions, I thought, really, really well. Nicely done. Say a hair thick maybe, but we'll certainly take it.
A little high in the face.
Yeah, confidently throwing that back there.
I don't know if, like, I don't know, at impact, everything just feels very one piece. It doesn't feel all over the place or soft or anything like that. No. I like it. It actually feels quite nice. A little draggy, but it works.
Okay, so if we're looking purely at the performance right now, we're seeing a little bit more launch. I think that's the fact that you're holding it with a slightly more open face. The face was closing over with the SM9 quite a bit, delivering a little bit more loft with the BGT. That's definitely holding the line a little bit more. What was the differences from a feel perspective?
More, like I said, at impact, everything feels more one piece. That if you were to chip a ball with no wrist hinge, that's what it feels like to me at impact. Everything's just very, very stable.
So probably the stiffness then is taking any of that kind of little bit of deflection away. So when you say stiff wristed, it's like losing a lever, because the wrist ultimately is a lever. But
I don't think it would alter if you were 30 yards around the green, or to hit like a little flop shot or something like that with the 60. I don't think it would alter I don't think it would take away the feel around the greens, that's for sure. But on this more full shot, what I would consider is definitely very one piece.
Okay, I'm going to go to slightly longer now. Go back to the SM9 for me.
Okay.
Let's see some 75-yarders. Okay, Mikey.
75 yards.
Yeah, similar thing with the full shots. With the S200, you were definitely likely to pull it.
Yeah.
So let's see how it is with the BGT.
Okay.
That's really nice. Good.
Good.
Okay, so second time around, just a little bit of a similar story. A little bit more online. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, its path is a similar story. Face angle, which is obviously the key, is a little bit more square to the target line. Interestingly, you're a little more toe down.
That little heavier shaft in the like the S200, definitely it does go more left on me. This, after a couple shots, definitely feel like you have, I don't know, we want to say you could work it more, but just maybe a bit more control.
And that was the feeling I had when I hit it. I just felt like I had more control over it versus the steel shaft. Wasn't my preference to play 120 27 gram shaft in a wedge anyway. I play a 120 gram shaft in the wedge right now. So to me, I knew it felt a little bit too heavy. But I'm going to test that because I'm going to dive in now and try to test the 130.
Okay.
Because that's the one thing I didn't do extensively last time. Just looking for more of that, kind of just like very neutral flight.
Comes in a bit lower.
Ah, rascal. Well, the interesting thing, when I tested this with Jake, my miss was to the right with the dynamic gold. We didn't hit too many shots at this distance. We were playing it a little bit longer than this. But it was definitely something I found was going definitely out to the right, which has been my weak shot for the last little while. Okay.
Noticeable weight difference right out of the gates?
A little bit. I wouldn't say it's huge. I would say, yeah, statically, yes, but when you swing it, it actually feels in your hands a little heavier than it does to swing it.
Right, okay.
For whatever reason. That was a little bit crisper, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Does it feel more stable every time you hit it, or do you think it's a one-trick pony with this thing?
No, it feels really good. It does feel very, very stable. I mean, it's something that everyone's always went softer with wedges, haven't they? More feel, like you get a little bit more feel. You feel the head and stuff like that.
Short and soft.
Yeah, maybe that's been wrong. Maybe that's been wrong all along.
Yeah.
You know, because well, we're going to see. We're going to test this thoroughly now and go, okay, what's it like if we do go softer, you know, 8-iron shafts in the wedges, that type of thing, versus this is going significantly stiffer. Now, that CPM measurement is a butt measurement, and when you're dealing with two different materials, we know how much stiffer the graphite is versus the steel. So, you know, there obviously is a part where the steel will be contributing in deflection as well. So that CPM stiffness doesn't tell the whole story, as we know. But let me hit one more and then we'll switch back.
It's a good strike. Similar to yardage and carry, but your launch is up, so spin's gone up a little bit. Strike is similar, a little bit more dynamic loft with BGT. Or dynamic loft.
Yeah, I mean, delivery-wise, attack angle and path are obviously, identical. I mean, they're both 60-degree golf clubs. That's quite the difference for having the same static loft. Very interesting.
Move you into 75 yards?
Yeah, let's do that.
And on course for you, the 75 yard, you're pulling 60.
Depends on the shot. I don't hit an awful lot of 60s. I think you said the same thing. I probably would tend to go, well, I actually don't right now carry a 60, I carry a 58.
Right.
So I probably would actually go probably 58, and if the pin's at the back with nothing in front of it, I might even go 52.
52, yeah. Strike?
Yeah, pretty solid. Chance. Okay.
Change it up. That was good. Come back. But back here, like we said, the spin is definitely up. Launch has gone up, but you look very confident just to swing at it. You're not worried about missing it or pulling it kind of thing with what you would do with like an S2 or an S4.
Like, that's the biggest thing for me is I feel like I was missing, I was as likely to pull it as I was to push it with the S2. I just don't feel like I've got the same kind of miss pattern in me with this one. If I hit it, maybe, yeah, it'll go offline. But if I hit a good one like the last couple, it feels...
Every time.
Yeah, very much automatic.
Good shot.
All right, well, we got one more. That's better.
Yeah, good swing. Yeah, that's good.
All right, Mikey. So the big story is with the spin rate. Through the differences in the dynamics, because we know that a shaft is not going to produce more spin.
Right.
The shaft doesn't hit the ball, the face hits the ball. The shaft is attached to the head that is ultimately going to deliver the impact and the friction into the golf ball. So when it comes to the 900 RPMs of difference that we're seeing in here, we've got to try and reverse engineer what's going on with that. Attack angle is the same, path is pretty much the same. Yeah. So it really lies in here, a marginally lower strike. So we are getting the gearing of the sort of lower launch. Let's see, did we see that? Very similar. But the strike obviously was contributing to the spin rate, and then the higher dynamic loft.
Yeah, and that face angle shot a little.
Yeah, little shot with the SM9, little more open with the BGT shaft. And I think when we look at the comparison on the dispersion, there is a dispersion story when it comes to this shaft.
Watching you hit those shafts very consistently, like all within the same little area, whereas that stock SM9 did drift on you the odd time. The miss was more prominent in the SM9.
Yeah, I like the feel of the more solid feeling shaft, the stiffer feeling shaft. I have to say, it just feels stiffer.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel hard to swing in any way, shape, or form. It just feels like you have more control of the face. It actually feels to me like I have more of more of an attachment to what the face angle's doing.
Yeah, totally. Like I said, it felt more one piece, but you knew where everything was at impact, which was nice.
Yeah. I mean, guys, the jury's out. It's going to take some more testing with many, many more players to know if we've really got something here. But in testing, there appears to be something in this. We know there is no one-size-fits-all option, from whether it be Vokey or whoever's testing, whatever stock shaft the companies use, that is a shaft that they think will cover the widest net of players that they test with. That's the only purpose of those shafts. It's not designed to be the best shaft for every single player out there. Jordan Spieth uses a Project X, and another guy out there uses a Dynamic Gold. It's just that's their particular shaft. But this is going to be an option. It's already won on the seniors tour.
That's right. Yeah,
So I'm not sure if we can say who that was, but if you Google the BGT zone shaft, the ZNE or ZNE, depending on what side of the border you're from, you will find out exactly who that winner was. It isn't supposed to be in every single wedge in the bag.
Right, that's what you said earlier. Not really a full swing wedge shaft.
Yeah, which, though, to be honest, when I'm hitting full shots with it, makes me scratch my head and go, why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Where's the iron shaft?
Where's the iron shaft? Because if you can be that consistent, if you can mix the materials the way that they have and get that torque value so low to the part where you just don't feel the shaft deviate at all, it just feels like it's just in line all the time. We don't need it to be kicking that much when it comes to these wedge shots. So the question, I guess, begs, how much do we need it to be doing it with the iron shafts?
Right. I think the big thing I'm excited for is to get it in a bunker and see how this reacts with those shorter, kind of quicker shots, kind of thing. That feel, that's kind of skill around the greens. Does it hinder it? Does it help it?
Jake was saying when he was testing them, he's done them out in the course. he was saying that out the rough, he found they were really, really good out the rough. And whether that's, again, the stability, whether that's the stiffness of the shaft, able to get through the heavier lies, and to your point about the sand, it'll be interesting to see if you do get a little bit more face control, if it does help you in those particular shots. The one person I can't wait to get this in the hands of is Mr. Raflewski, and see how he gets on with it, and with some of his players. I know he's always keen to try different things. He quite likes lighter and softer.
Lighter and softer, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if maybe the 90-gram one fits his preference. So and he can do. I mean, I'm a very basic wedge player. I'm a one-trick pony. I can try and hit a fairly stock shot reasonably well. He's got every shot under the sun, so I'd love to see him with one of these in his hands.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool. All right, guys, we're going to have these in store. I think they're readily available very soon, if not now.
Yeah, no, we've got a bunch in stock, which is good.
Excellent. Okay, well, let us know, guys, if anyone's tried this. Keen to hear the feedback. A bit like it was with the putters. It's going to take some time to penetrate. People are going to be a little bit, maybe apprehensive to deviate from their S400s or whatever their favourite preference of wedge shaft is going to be. But if it's not a huge strength of your game, don't be shy in giving something else a little try and test. You'll never know when you're going to find something that gives you a little bit extra advantage. And with the short game, with the amount of shots that we hit, we all know the value of the short game in the wedges. So be open-minded enough to give these a try.
Definitely.
Good stuff. All right, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.